Welcome back to the channel, folks. My name's Shane. I'm here to share with you my long-term review of the Rode Broadcaster microphone. Now, this is an end address microphone, so you can either have it set up like this or you can have it actually facing your mouth. I'm going to talk about my experience with this microphone, why I choose to use it with this pop filter, and why I think it's just the easiest solution to get great quality audio. Whether you're running an XLR adapter on top of your camera, you might have a Rode Caster Pro or Pro 2 or any other number of external recorders from Zoom or whatever. This microphone really makes things easy. Now, over the last sort of year and a half or so, I've been using this a lot on the channel. I sometimes change it out with the Shure SM7B, or I might go over to the Rode Procaster, but I keep coming back to this just for its simplicity, and I'll explain why. If you're someone who's looking for either a Shure SM7B or this microphone, I got news, they both sound great. I kind of prefer how this sounds on my voice, and it also gives me a little bit more leeway. If I turn my head, it's still going to pick my voice up a little bit better than the Shure. The Shure has a really narrow field at which your voice will be picked up. A lot of the time, my girlfriend's sort of running around the house, smashing into things while I'm recording, and I never hear it on my recordings, which is fantastic. And what you're listening to is just fully unprocessed audio, minus maybe some slight compression in post-production. And that's all I do on my channel. And this is recorded directly to my camera, giving me great quality audio. So if you're on the fence between this and like the SM7B, I think this gives you a much more streamlined setup. Again, you don't have to worry about how much gain you've got in your signal to get the most out of the SM7B. But the SM7B is a really smooth sounding microphone, but so is this. It could go either way. When I reviewed the SM7B initially, I really loved the sound of it. I still love the sound of it. I just find it a little bit clunky to set up. It's got this strange little bracket that needs to go a particular way on your boom arm. It's just requires more fiddling around, but it's a great sounding microphone and everybody uses them. Overall, I love the sound of this microphone, but I do have one criticism with it after using it now for over a year or so, and that's the fact that if I don't run it with this little pop filter on the end, I get a lot of plosives, and plosives are those P and B words which bottom out the microphone diaphragm if you blow air into it accidentally. And I usually run it this way because it's far less susceptible to have air blown in it if you're sort of talking sort of across and into it. My chin's just resting near the filter and it should be fine. Now, if there's any plosives that get through, it's just one of those things. It still can happen even with this on. But with it off, you're going to notice those plosives more, and I'm going to see the audio spike. As I say, Peter brings pizza and potatoes. You probably hear that go through. I'm looking at my reference monitor over here, but yeah, I would highly recommend one of these little cheap filters here and get one with a bit of a thick end on it as well. It will make sure that those plosives don't become a problem. Another huge benefit to this microphone is I think it actually looks really cool, and it's a good point of difference from everyone using SM7B. So if you're looking for something a little bit different and you want to minimize your setup process, this is definitely a really great choice. It looks a little bit better on camera. It doesn't have that annoying bracket that comes with the SM7B. And of course, for some people that won't be a huge issue, but I much prefer this just based on its overall simplicity. There's two other cool features with this that you need to be aware of. So on the side of the microphone, there's a high pass filter, which allows all the highs to pass. So it's essentially rolling out low end. If you need to do that for any reason, maybe it's plosives or maybe it's ambient sound related, you can click that on. There's also a little red LED indicator letting me know that it's on and it's ready to go. So as soon as I plug this in, turn on phantom power, again, because it's a condenser microphone, I can see that little red LED light up and I'm in business. The Rode Broadcaster comes in at 577 grams, so it has no problems working with the Rode PSA-1 boom arm, which kind of works via gravity. If the microphone's not heavy enough, then this arm will just move up unless you lock it down, right? So it works fine with this. I have no problems with it. That crunching noise is just some Velcro I've got holding some of the cabling here. But yeah, it works great. And as you can probably also hear, even when I move this, there's not a whole lot of handling noise or noise, mechanical noise or whatever coming through the microphone or recording. So this is another benefit to this microphone. While it is a condenser mic, I find it very easy to use. Even if, you know, I move the boom arm or whatever, you're not going to get a lot of noise coming through your end result. At the time of recording this video, this microphone is 100 Australian dollars less than it is to buy the Shure SM7B, and I'll put the conversion on screen in US dollars. But essentially, you're getting a microphone you can just plug in directly to any audio interface and make it work. This is the huge benefit of this microphone being a condenser mic while still having really good off-axis rejection. Is the off-axis rejection as good as the SM7B? Probably not, but at the end of the day, I think it actually allows you to get a really great recording with minimal effort. One of the things you've probably seen on podcasts is if someone's using an SM7B and they turn their head, the audio completely drops out unless they're running compressors and a whole bunch of other stuff. With this, it just works. So I can turn my head, even move back a bit, and it's still going to sound very good. So yeah, it's a great microphone. Let us know what you think of the audio quality. I've tried to just make this whole entire setup as easy as I can. So this is my S5 Mark IIX camera from Lumix, running the DMW XLR1 adapter. So no 32-bit float, no fancy recording, just a mic plugged into a camera. I think it sounds pretty great. Anyway, you've heard it a million times on this channel if you're already subscribed, but I plan on bringing these sort of videos back, so stay tuned. There'll be more coming up very soon. Thanks for watching. Catch you soon.